Connect with Christina, and I'm gonna try to contain myself because I'm very excited right now. My friend over here, attorney Lebovitz, I hope I'm saying that right, is with me. Welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for making time. My brain is like going a million miles an hour because there's so much I want to ask and share with everyone. But say hi first.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here as well, and definitely some fun things we're gonna hopefully get to talk about today.
Yeah, I want to start it off with why personal injury? I mean, we know you're an amazing lawyer in the personal injury space, well respected, adored, all that. Why? How did you get into this?
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Personal injury is, something that kind of found me in a way. I certainly have some experiences and things that were meaningful and impactful to me that also contributed to that decision, so to speak. But really, I had no plans of going to law school and doing personal injury, or even after law school. It was something that a friend of mine introduced me to and kind of started to teach me the ropes, and it was a lot of sink or swim, and I started to really become fascinated with it and see all the different ways that you could help people. It's incredible how just even a small accident can turn your life upside down. And so to be able to be there for people and provide, that kind of help, and I know but it's really cool to be there and to be on the right side of things to help people through, arguably outside of losing a loved one, perhaps what is going to be one of the more difficult experiences in their lifetime. And so we are very passionate at Lebovitz Law Group about really connecting with our clients. Communication is critical, and we strive to get to know our clients in a meaningful way so that we can effectively tell their stories, advocate for them, but form meaningful connections for the long term. And we don't wish it upon anybody, but God forbid certain things happen to them or to a loved one. We want them to come back to us and to refer to Lebovitz Law Group, the trusted injury law firm.
Also known as LLG.
LLG, the trusted injury law firm, right? Mm-hmm. And we take that seriously, the trust part. It's very competitive out there, and we have to do things to distinguish ourselves and stand out in a unique way, perhaps. But I think it's, the secret sauce is just take care of people. And at the end of the day, I won't say results don't matter and things like that too, but if you really care about people and you communicate and you're honest and transparent and you work hard, it matters. It goes a long way, and we form really meaningful relationships, and they're meaningful in so many ways on a personal level, but also on a business level. We are referral based, and it's like many businesses, the lifeblood of the business. And so we have a very high, I don't know if the right word is attrition rate or something like that, but most 90 plus 95% of our business comes from our clients, people that we've helped.
That means you did a good job for them. They trust you, so they keep coming back and sending everyone they know.
That's right. And we are fortunate and grateful and don't take it for granted.
And that's huge, right? Because it's like one thing to get the client in, and you're always trying to get the client in, but really, like you said, that's formula. And it's just a sincere one where you want to take care of people, then you don't have to worry about the clients coming in because they just keep coming in because you've done a good job.
That's right. I mean, there will be losses.
Of course.
And by losses, I mean, you may have cases that it's clear liability and the patient, fortunately, isn't all that injured and the case isn't worth very much. And many firms might not want to help that individual because clearly we're going to lose money in the sense that the amount of time and work and overhead that goes into it, we're not going to collect that in attorney's fees on this case. But I don't really care about that. I want
Wow.
5-star reviews. I want this person to tell their friends, their family, their coworkers.
So you're not scared of little cases or difficult cases, basically.
No, I mean, we'll help anybody. And sometimes that's to our detriment. And I'll tell you, maybe I shouldn't. I've got a bleeding heart. And I think you kind of know that. But it's also not selfless. You know, if we help people and take care of them, you got to take the bad with the good. And the good with the bad, and you're going to help people, and maybe you never hear from them again, but maybe you get $1,000 fee and it wasn't worth it. But 6 months down the line, they might be referring a 6-figure case to you. So you help everybody.
Right. And in the end, you still did the right thing, and it was a choice, and you made that choice.
That's right.
Your office too. Obviously I visit a lot of offices. Yeah. I do notice like very upbeat, very positive vibe in your office. Is that directly from your leadership? Like, what's some of the secret sauce on that? Because obviously there's always, like a turnover, but I feel like your office is pretty legit when it comes to like having people there for a while, and also just the attitude and energy in the room.
Yeah, well, thanks for saying that. I appreciate that, and have worked very, very hard to create an environment, a culture where the staff can thrive, where the team is motivated to succeed and see us succeed, and they have a safe and healthy environment where they can come to and be successful and be brought up. I'm all about continuing education, and want to sign up for a seminar. Someone asked to sign up, they're fluent in Spanish, but we all know legalese is a foreign language in and of itself. To learn legal jargon, it doesn't matter what your native language might have been. It's a difficult language in Spanish and another language, those concepts. So someone asked to take a course in Spanish where they could learn some of the additional legal words in that language and help communicate with our clients on a better level. And so, of course, we're going to sign them up for things like that. And
it also helps them, their growth, like you said.
Absolutely.
Well, now, I know you have a very beautiful family and a beautiful, awesome wife.
Thank you.
How do you balance that? Because it's obviously taxing, being an attorney, having your own firm, employees, management, and then how many kids?
We have 4 kids.
Okay. I was going to say 7, but 4.
4 was plenty. We are done. Other people may, including my wife, may disagree or think or feel otherwise, and I'm kidding. She is super supportive, but it takes that. It takes a support network. It takes, home. How much bandwidth do you have to do all these things? And again, at home, at Lebovitz Law Group, it takes a village. And I can't do what I do without the kind of love and support and help from the people close to me in both of those capacities. And so, yeah, my wife, Rachel, is just obviously my rock and number one fan, and I'm hers. And she makes all of this a reality. It's not me alone. She makes it possible.
In the time you've done this, is there like a specific case where it really was like a milestone for you where you're like, yep, this is what I like to do. I just helped someone in their situation. I'm sure you have many, but what's some of your favorite stories?
One that comes to mind is somebody who is near and dear to me that unfortunately was involved in a fairly catastrophic accident about 2 years ago now. Case long resolved, but still just spoke with him actually the other day, and he's still in recovery and probably never will fully recover. But it's just those types of cases and those relationships. I come to these types of events and opportunities to interact with medical providers and discuss with them, what it takes to work up a case. And I'm all for working up a case for the right reasons and doing it the right way. But, that's not just it. It's not the end game or the end goal. It's part of the goal. It's part of the task. And I tell people, I'm not the doctor, I'm the money guy, so to speak. But at the end of the day, we have an individual, a patient, a client, a victim, whatever you want to label them, they're hurting. And so for me, it's cases that, I know we're helping everybody. But there are some people who really need it more than others, and some people where it affects them more than others. And, I think I was somewhat talking about it earlier, but forming those connections is what resonates most with me. And, I got nothing, I guess selfishly, sure, I'm still hoping they'll trust me down the line if God forbid something happens. But, the reality is I just care, and it's just good to talk to them and hear what's going on their journey, because they're still on the journey,
right. Also, I feel like a lot of people still don't know. Well, they don't really know about personal injury or car accident unless they either go through it, someone they love go through it, and I find that I try to be a big advocate on like educating them on what wrongful death is. I see a lot of families like do car washes and things like that. And I want it to come from you so you can educate more people. And then I'll jump into insurance. But what is wrongful death, and how can people understand it better so that they can come to you when they need that when it happens? Hopefully it doesn't, but unfortunately it sometimes does.
In a nutshell, if somebody through some form of wrongdoing, either they should have done something that they didn't do, or there's something they weren't supposed to do, but they did it. And it could be, generally speaking, by accident. It wasn't on purpose. It was what we refer to as negligence.
And it's not limited to just cars, right? There's other things, personal injury-wise.
Correct. So we handle a lot of cases beyond motor vehicle collisions and trucking and bicycle and motorcycle and pedestrian, but yes, also dog bites and premises cases, slip and fall, trip and fall, in some circumstances, what we refer to as intentional torts, like assault type cases.
You take those?
But we have had quite a bit of success in the right cases. And it's not all cases, but the right facts with the right defendants, you can get usually to assets or coverage. But, generally speaking, it does not have to be a car accident. And if through someone's negligence, their, actions or inactions, somebody becomes deceased, there's unfortunately a wrongful death, if you will, we may be able to help. And in the wrongful death context, there's a lot of what if scenarios and things that need to be evaluated and investigated. But speaking on motor vehicles and the car accident context, I do think that it's important for people to appreciate whether it's a wrongful death or not. You can't rely on other people to have adequate coverage to protect you. And so specifically what I mean by that, in Arizona, we have a high rate of uninsured drivers and underinsured drivers. So, I advocate and highly recommend that you take it upon yourself to protect yourself, your loved ones, and get the protection. You decide what is enough. I will tell you whatever you can afford. So if you can afford the next level, do it. No.
And I want to go into the insurance part for sure, because I know you'll be able to help people understand that better, how to protect themselves. But in that wrongful suit situation, you can facilitate something like that if you find insurance, if you find negligence, if you find insurance, and then what is it, 2 year statute?
I mean, the general answer is a 2-year statute of limitations for negligence, personal injury, including wrongful death. But there are exceptions to that rule. We do have some 1-year statutes, some strict liability, some notice of claim, 180 day. It's not 6 months, it's 180 days. There are circumstances where, again, you really need an attorney to look at the facts and the information, the evidence to assess what the appropriate statute or statutes are. And I'm referring to the statute of limitations, whether that be 180 days or
yeah, so just come to you. I mean, your consultation is free.
Yeah, we don't charge anything for a consultation. We don't charge anything if we don't recover. And so in some cases, we are expending money on behalf of the client, on behalf of the case. We're advancing costs. We're doing an investigative workup. We're expending time. But at the end of the day, if there's no recovery, we never send a bill or an invoice or ask for those expenses or that time to be paid by a client. So there's really no risk to giving us a call and asking us to evaluate.
At least explore their options and their rights with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then you mentioned premise liability. I'm from property management, so I'm pretty aware. But I want more people to understand what that means, because sometimes they have a case and they don't know that they have a case, or preventative measures for other people to prevent that. Can you elaborate on the premise liability, please?
Sure. In many cases, it becomes an assessment of what kind of landowner or premises owner may be involved in what kind of victim, what kind of class, if you will. And so are they, a trespasser? Or are they an invitee? And this is all part of the analysis. But generally speaking, we're looking to see, is there an unreasonably dangerous condition? And is it something that is either known or should have been known by the landowner or property manager? Is there a defect that is a hazard, an unreasonably dangerous one, something that they know about or should know about that maybe has been reported?
Know or should know, guys.
And it may not be so appreciable or obvious to the victim, to somebody like you or me, who maybe our first time in that store or at that restaurant or on that property. And so it may not be appreciable, it may not be obvious to us. And if it's an unreasonably dangerous condition that they otherwise, the owner or manager, should know about or does know about and hasn't taken remedial measures, and we get injured, that's an example, generally, broadly speaking, of.
Give us an example, like
case.
Somebody trips and fall on there's a trip hazard. Like, what's a case you've had like that that's specifically premise liability?
Sure. Trip hazards, those can be different. You get sometimes into building codes, and is it stairs, and are there railings?
That's why you have to lawyer up, because you never know what of it you have to explore.
There are a lot of things we need to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have had cases, slip and fall cases, some examples where maybe an employee has caused the spill, and they've had adequate time to clean it, but they didn't. And, maybe this is a question for a jury or a trier of fact. How much is adequate time? Did they have 1 minute, 5 minutes, or an hour? And they just never went back around to mopping up the mess. And
Were they understaffed and didn't have people to do it?
But you know, if it's a clear liquid that's not obvious to us, and one thing that the defense loves to argue is, you know, don't we always look down and watch where we're walking? And the answer is no, especially in a grocery store. Our eyes are attracted to, you know, the marketing on the materials that we're trying to buy or the products and supplies that we're trying to buy. So that potentially is an example of a case where an individual might slip and sustain some injuries that are negligent on behalf of the store owner and would benefit from speaking with a lawyer.
And I'm obviously a huge advocate of that, right? Because in my short history, I've seen where it's like you think it's a basic car accident, but because of the help of a lawyer like you, it's like, wait, there's also a product liability with the car. There's also an issue with this, the way they did the traffic, or maybe I remember there was one where the city did like a police chase, and they argued that because it should have been a helicopter rather than a street chase. And I remember distinctively that case had like, they went after the construction people, the product's liability within the car, the accident itself, and then I want to say like with the city. I'm just saying like just talk to a lawyer because they're the ones that's gonna want to or be able to explore really all your options and your rights. So I just want them to know how important it is. Just call a lawyer. Call him.
We're here 24/7. My cell phone number is on my business card. I jokingly tell people it's the same number I talk to my wife and my mother on. You have access to an attorney.
You have 2 phones then? Or
it
just
is one phone. I don't have 2 phones. I don't turn it off at 5 o'clock. I mean, again, I'm very grateful and fortunate to have a wife and a family who's supportive and understands what it takes.
Right.
But we have a team, and you know, I would always encourage people to call the office, and the office rolls over to our staff. We don't have a call service.
You don't have a VA from somewhere else?
No virtual assistants, no AI. You get a real live body, and generally speaking, it'll be me or one of the other attorneys. And we answer the phone. It's one of the reasons I started the firm is we want people to have direct access to the attorney.
So you're telling me the clients actually talk to the lawyer?
We do not create barriers and obstacles and gatekeepers and try to keep you away from the attorney. All the attorneys provide their cell phone numbers, and we are available 24/7. But at the same time, it's not just the attorneys. I'll say it again, it's the team. It takes a village, and you know, we are here and we are accessible and available, but there are some, you know, other folks on the team who are potentially going to call and reach out and be a part of the helping process. And so.
And I mean, you said it earlier, there's a lot of personal injury firms. It's super competitive. There's a reason you're successful, and it stems from you, no matter what, not forgetting the core, which is you're here to take care of people. But I also want to use your voice to train more people, because this is my one least thing because I'm also trying to help people, and I'm just wanting them, I want to educate them, right? So in your own words, I want to hear it from you. When I get the call of like, oh no, my insurance company is already taking care of it, how do you handle that? And how do you explain to them that maybe they still should look into it?
You know I am a plaintiff's personal injury attorney, and so what I'm about to say is jaded or may come across sounding very jaded, but I will tell you, I don't think the insurance companies are on your side. They're not there to protect you. They're not there to do what you think you paid for them to do. Or they are there to do what you paid for them to do, but they're not going to do it without help, without the right, saying the right things and navigating it the right way. And it shouldn't be that way. And it's really sad that unfortunately, that's the system. We would be doing something else if they behave different. But for anybody who thinks I've got insurance and it's okay for me to just contact them and they're going to take care of me and they're on top of it, it's going to likely go south. and
At
not
some point.
at some point. And not only is it going to go south, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be stressed because of trying to navigate the path, trying to figure out what to say and not to say. I mean, it's not criminal by any means, but I tell my clients and potential clients the same general principle applies. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So don't think they're your friend. Don't think when they go, oh, I'm so glad you're okay, they really care about you. What they care about is documenting you saying that you're fine.
Or you posting photos that you're
Yes,
fine.
you need to be very careful with social media. You know, it's just a very, I'm a big advocate of technology. I'm a big advocate of automation and AI and whatever. We're not really utilizing it at our firm in the client communication capacity because I think it's really important that humans and that the team do that. So you don't deal with AI in that context, but we need to stay cutting edge. We need to stay sharp. We need to stay competitive. I can tell you the insurance companies are using these things, and they're using them against us. And so, you know, part of our job is to make your life easier. You hire us to traverse the legal maze, do it the right way, but also make your life easier. Handle the communications. You don't have to fill out forms, respond to emails,
Get
questionnaires.
stressed when you get stuff in mail.
Yeah, it's very stressful, and it can be very confusing, and they don't explain it to you, and they don't make it easy. And so we're here not to take advantage of anyone, not certainly our clients, and certainly not the insurance companies or the at-fault parties. They're not bad people. They're not monsters. You know, generally speaking, it's negligence. It's an accident. It was a mistake.
This is why you have insurance.
It was a mistake. But, you know, we're here to hold insurance companies and at-fault parties accountable. We're not here to take advantage of you. But my job is to make sure you don't take advantage of my clients.
There you go. And I know we're almost up to time, but I'm not done. I want you to talk about this commonality with our community saying, yeah, I'm fully covered. And then the accident happens and then they find out they're not. So what is really fully covered?
So there's no such thing as full coverage. People say it all the time. I have full coverage. That's not a thing. I mean, at least it's a misconception in that you may have liability only. And liability is all our state legislature, our government, our state of Arizona really cares about. You have liability coverage. You have money in, you know, some insurance bond, so to speak, to pay for others that you hurt, their property damage, their injuries. But they don't require us to have medical payments coverage, collision, comprehensive, rental, pet coverage. I mean, it requires, and by the way, we do free insurance reviews. Contact my office. We will gladly sit down with you. I'm grateful if it's not because you were involved in an accident. Let's do this preventative. Let's do this proactively ahead of time to make sure that you have the protections in place.
Especially in Arizona.
Yes. For you, for your family, for your pets, for whatever the circumstances are in your life, it requires a conversation, and we're happy to do it. Look at what you have, ask questions, have a conversation to figure out what you need.
Most people don't even know what a declaration page is. I sure didn't until I worked. It's not something I think of. So now that message, like review that, right? But go over what you feel in your experience that, you know, really people shouldn't be on the road unless they have X, Y, Z.
So you need liability coverage. That's all the state requires, $25.50 in insurance for liability, bodily injury, but that's not enough to just worry about hurting other people. You got to worry about, or their property. You got to worry about protecting yourself. And it may not make sense to have collision or comprehensive, depending on the value of your vehicle and other circumstances. But if you can and need, you should have collision, comprehensive, have medical payments coverage, have uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. And there are many other things that may require
First party
evaluation.
rental for me. Got to get back to work.
Yeah.
Got to get back to life.
Rental coverage is really important. Even if you're not at fault, medical payments coverage, no fault coverage, rental coverage, collision coverage, these are no fault coverages. And it's really important to note that if you don't have those things and there's any kind of liability dispute, you could be waiting weeks, you could be waiting months in some extreme situations. So,
which causes you to lose your job in some situations.
Absolutely.
It's like a domino effect, right?
It affects your life. It affects your job. It affects your family. It affects your activities. So, yeah, we rely on transportation very heavily.
Especially in Arizona. We're not in New York. We
That's
don't
right.
build up, we build out. But break down hit and run for me, for all of us.
Sure, yeah. Hit and run, scary, sad situations. Hit and runs happen all the time. And I'll tell you that time is of the essence. It's, of course, really important that you get medical attention right away. We want a police report. Surprisingly, there are hit and run situations where the victims leave or get transported away and by a good Samaritan, someone who's helping, a witness, a bystander. But we need police reports, and time is of the essence. It's really important to canvass the residential neighborhood for Ring or other type of cameras, apartment complexes, parking garages, go to businesses.
What if they don't find this person? Remind them how they can still be protected. If this is a thing, you'll try, right, to find the person. But if you don't, how are they still fully protected?
Sure. You could be a pedestrian walking down the street, walking down the sidewalk, and a car jumps the curb, hits you, and then takes off. If you're a pedestrian, a bicyclist, you could be driving a motor vehicle, a passenger in a motor vehicle. If you find yourself in a hit and run scenario, you qualify under your first party uninsured motorist coverage. And you might say, well, how do we know? Well, we don't. We don't know. We couldn't find them. We made every effort we could to get a license plate, to do a motor vehicle department insurance search, a VIN search,
Which you don't
whatever.
charge them for that. I just want to say.
We do not. We do the investigation. We had one of these just 2 weeks ago where our client was riding her bicycle to work when she was hit by a motor vehicle in a hit and run situation. And we were out the following morning. It was about 24 hours knocking on businesses to see who might even have camera and possibly capture it so we could send preservation letters, put them on notice to, hand it over if you're willing and able. We will be most appreciative and grateful if you could do that. But generally they won't. We got to go through powers that be, statutory agents, legal departments, counsel, and put them on notice to preserve video that they might have captured on their cameras.
That's the point. They will do all that. Your lawyer will do this. So you have help. But the coverage that every person should have, God forbid that happens. Let's just say you don't find them.
Again, yes, it's that uninsured motorist coverage.
There you go.
And so
Hear it from the lawyer.
To have uninsured motorist coverage, that is to say the at-fault party is uninsured, or to the extent they might have insurance, we don't know who they are, where they are, we don't know how to verify that. And so your insurance, first party, my own insurance, my own uninsured motorist coverage is going to kick in to bridge that gap, to fill that void, to up to whatever my uninsured motorist coverage policy limit is that I paid for. And that's why I say, if you can go to the next level, go to the next level. But generally, it's going to pay up to that limit to make me whole for what the injuries I sustained from another party's negligence. I don't know who they are. They fled.
Yeah. Moral of the story, you guys have to listen up and have this. And I'm like a broken record when it comes to this. Insurance is something you wish that you won't have to use, but it better be there if something like that happens.
Have uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your loved ones. Call us, and we will gladly do a free insurance review with you. Let's be proactive to protect yourselves.
Tell everyone how to get a hold of you. We'll put everything obviously in the screen too, but remind them how to get a hold of you guys.
602-312-9104. It's my cell phone. That's how you can get a hold of me 24/7. But, it can be a lot. And so I would encourage people to call the office, 602-975-5550. Our team, 10 individuals, we are there. Phones roll over once the office closes. We are accessible and available 24/7. If you need us, call us. And I promise you, we will take good care of you. We are here to help you.
I second that. But before you leave, you're not off the hook yet. I have to do this. Life's fleeting. We're here and then we're not. And obviously, I want for all of us to age out and be 100 years old, if, that was a thing, and live life to the fullest. Justin's saying like, but if I can still Dougie, yeah. But seriously, I am gonna, maybe you might consider it torture, but it's gonna mean a lot to me if, because this is a recorded podcast and it's gonna go on what I call the interweb forever. And the kids are small now, but they won't be. And later they might see this. So I want you to look at the camera and leave a little dedication to your very loving and supportive wife and what you want for your kids in this life. That's how you get off the show.
Thank you. I love that. And I guess first and foremost, I just have to say thank you to them for their love, for their support, for all of the shenanigans that they put up with. That is me. But in terms of the message, and I am working on this now. Just recently, I've been talking to my daughter, who's my oldest. She'll be 7 in August, and just the importance of giving back and caring about the community, taking care of the community. Whatever you want to call it, however you want to sell it. What I tell my kids is it's just really important to give back and to care and to help people who need it, to help people who need help, to help people who are asking for it, and sometimes to help the people who don't know how to ask for it or when to ask for it. So to look for those opportunities, that they're opportunities, and that it's really important for people like us, for all of us, to, step up and take care of each other. It's a crazy world that we live in, 100%. It's a crazy world. And so...
But yeah, it's still very, very, very beautiful. It's a beautiful life.
It's a beautiful life. And I want the kids to know that too, and know that it's a beautiful life. And we have... a responsibility and an obligation to make sure that the world stays beautiful and to make it a beautiful world in whatever capacity that resonates with whoever's viewing this. It could be picking up trash. It could be helping someone who's hungry. It could be a million different things, but just make the world a beautiful place, because it is a beautiful place. And we got to love it and take care of it and take care of the people that are in it. And, we just bought these...
Kids, I want to tell you, your dad is in charge of one of my favorite things to do. I've been doing it for many years, the backpack drive.
Yeah, we just bought these LLG supporting the community shirts, and I got, I don't know, probably way more than we needed, but a ton of kid sizes, and it's for the team and it's for the kids. It's for the family, our families, to wear these shirts and go volunteer and go out and do something good, do something positive to give back. And so, yes, I'm very excited that in July, in just about 2 weeks, CASA Academy, it's casaacademy.org. They are a nonprofit school that is generally serving a homeless, impoverished, extremely underserved community, high percentage of refugees, African refugees. Many of these individuals, not just the children, their parents don't speak English. And even if they speak whatever their native language might be, they might be illiterate. They don't read, they don't write. I mean, this is truly a community where out of 400 students, my understanding is this nonprofit charter school, CASA Academy, had 400 students last year, one who did not qualify for free lunch last year. So,
Well, definitely give them a shout out and put their website on here too.
well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
We're so excited to host this backpack back to school drive. Our firm has bought 400 backpacks to give out to the students.
400 backpacks.
400 backpacks.
We're
for
gonna
the
put
kids.
some clapping sound in the back.
Well, thank you. And we've got just an incredible list of vendors, sponsors, I don't know what to call them, just community partners, people in this personal injury space and just in the community in general that love what this is and what we're doing. I mean, I don't want to make it about what we're doing, but what, the mission is here. Mm-hmm. And so just huge shout out to all these
awesome.
people.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the team.
Thank you.
But I know we're way over, but wait, there's more. Next episode, we are going to talk about this delicious whiskey. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, my friend, for being here. I'm sorry I went over the 25-minute mark, but it was fun. Thank you for sharing your heart, who you are, and till next time.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Bye.